If I asked you to describe a magnificent tree, you would probably focus on the girth of its trunk, the spread of its canopy, the reach of its highest branches. We tend to look at a lot of things this way: how big, how tall, how strong. So when looking at a great endeavor like our company, I guess it's no surprise that we tend to do the same thing. But I would like to take a moment to look at the source of the splendor, the roots as it were, buried deep down in the fertile soils of our history. To do this, I will ask that you suspend for a moment what you know of our past, and listen to this story with the youthful freshness of days now long gone. So down we go and back in time to a point where the great minds of our company probably didn't even have a glimmer of what they were setting about building. From a chance insight, our company was officially born on October 8, 1996, with Jan and Pierre as its first employees. Then, just about 3 months later, Ken officially joined on January 1, 1997, New Year's Day. Our global headquarters were at 131 West 71st Street in New York, with our now 3 employees squeezed into the sitting room of Jan's home. From this humble beginning, we sowed the seeds of our future, and our tree began to grow. With a steadily expanding team, we were transplanted a few times, eventually landing above the Love Sculpture in Midtown at 1350 Avenue of the Americas. We grew nicely here, establishing the basic framework of our products. But there were challenges as well in the Big Apple, and they were beginning to take a toll. A major product launch had not gone as expected. Pierre, our CFO, had succumbed to stomach cancer, and the city itself had come under attack. It was beginning to look a bit like winter for us, so with his characteristic wisdom, Jan decided on a radical plan to prune our tree to the ground and transplant its roots to sunny California. He selected a nice cozy spot near the intersection of La Jolla Village Drive and the 805. In our 4 small offices, 5 desks, and a small storage area, the beginnings of our new operational limbs were grafted on to our strong rootstock. Here we acclimated and allowed the core of our operations to sprout and begin their unyielding reach for the light, nourished by the powerful relationships of our loyal customers. Suddenly, our most promising customer, Singular Wireless, decided to bet on our idea for a national campaign, and with that, spring had arrived once again. And it was time for another transplanting. So we repositioned ourselves to the other end of UTC, to 8910 University Center Lane, the Aventine, appropriately named for one of the 7 hills upon which Rome was built. Like Rome, we were not built in a day, but here at the Aventine, we flourished. We quickly passed the 10 million card mark, and soon 50 million was within sight. Our limbs strengthened through the contributions of a growing team. While many members of our team came and went, others, like Pierre and Rob, were far too brief, and the hole they left was never really replaced. If asked where the core of our fine company resides, you would of course rightly point to the offices we now occupy, 4 stories up in the fine San Diego air. You could take a stroll along our halls and see the places where wonderful ideas are brought from imagination to fruition. Here, the dreams and desires of our clients are carefully crafted into finely tuned instruments that both delight and deliver on their fundamental needs. However, these offices are but hollow places, shells as it were, intended only to hold the real essence of what drives our progress each day. That impetus, of course, comes from us, the people of Extra Measures, that drive this great being to ever greater heights. We are the leaves of this grand tree, the magnificent source of our company, collecting the life-giving light around us and processing it into the nourishment that our customers and families crave, and the structures that support our great organization. We are the ones who regularly create the miracles that many do not think possible, and so don't even attempt. We are the ones who create new worlds from the basic elements around us. And we are the ones whose talents stand tall in the forest of our industry. It has been said that the reasonable person adapts themselves to the world around them, and the unreasonable one persists in adapting the world to themselves. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable person. We are the unreasonable, and should be rightly proud of that distinction. We have brought much progress to our world and show no signs of flagging in that effort. Standing back to marvel at the mighty tree we have become, the metrics are impressive indeed. Counting the rings within our growing trunk, one sees that it has been expanded by the efforts of more than 60 souls. Our limbs reach from Asia to Europe, spanning 3 continents, 6 countries, 16 time zones, and 14,000 miles. We stand over 65 million cards tall, which in a single stack is over 31 miles high, and we have safely and accurately flowed over $7 billion in customer funds. We are arguably the largest privately held company in our industry and have distinguished ourselves numerous times in our 2 decades of growth. This then is the company we have called Extra Measures. This is the company we have all helped to build and nourish. And this is the company that we will propel ever further into uncharted territory.